Hi everyone, it's Sarah
And Amy.
from the Stoughton Public Library, and you are watching us do another month of virtual craft club. So this month, for the November craft club, we are doing circle weaving. So you'll be making something kind of like this.
Or that.
Alright. So everyone will get a grapevine ring, small one, so very achievable project. You'll get a little bit of small yarn or string for creating your warp. You'll get a couple bundles of pencil roving or a thick yarn, and then you'll get a bundle of a big roving to fill it in. And you'll get enough that you have options and you can experiment. Alright, let's get started. So first you'll want to take the items out of your kit and spread them out. What you'll need to start are your wreath, your small yarn string, and your needle. So thread your big-eyed needle, leave a little tail, and then go through, kind of pick the best side for visibility, and then go through a piece of your grapevine and then tie it. The double knot is fine. Not a long tail, it'll get kind of hidden in there. So what you'll want to do is plan to make 4 crossing lines. So this is 1, and also have them spaced pretty evenly. So you'll kind of have to wind your way and try not to get caught on the grapevine pieces, which is not easy. And you may be cursing Amy and I by the end of this.
It requires patience at times.
Yeah. And I'm, oops, came unthreaded. And don't worry too much about where your crossing is in the center. You can decide if you want it a little bit asymmetrical or if you want it perfectly even. Alright, so after you do your 4 lines, you need to do 1 more, because if you don't have an odd number, then your over-under motion won't work. So I'm looking where I have the biggest space, and I'm going to add my last line in the center there. And so to affix this, then you'll kind of want to start going over under, and then you can tie a knot. So that'll give you a nice base for getting your weaving started. So now I'm just gonna tie this to anchor it. And again, I'm going to do 2 of those same knots. And that's it. Then you're ready to start weaving. Good. Alright, so now we're here. I wanted to make sure that you understand. So you sewed from this side, and we're going to call this the back. And then this side where they're indented, that's the front. So whenever you start and end colors, or if your piece, you come to an end and you need to start with another one, you'll have the tails coming out this side. So while you're weaving, it'll look sort of funny, but that means that it'll look nice on this side. And if it doesn't work, then you just tuck them back in later and it's no big deal. So with this one, I had a shorter piece, so I just cut it after I went around a few times to establish the center. But you can see in this one, we used the warp yarn to start the center, and also in this one. So if you have enough, you can definitely do that too. So back to this one. We're going to start, and you can just take your bundle and go over under, or if you want, you can thread your needle and do it that way. So I want to have a little bit of a tail up, and then over under. It's easier to do a few at a time and then pull them snug. And this stuff is so nice to work with. We got this pencil roving at Spry Whimsy, and it is great for this kind of project. So I've come to the end of this roving, and I wanted to make sure you knew a couple of things. One, if your warp threads are not staying put, it's okay to use more yarn to tie them into place. That's happened to Amy and I, and you just figure out a better way to anchor it. And then the next thing is, I've come to the end here, so I'm going to leave that there, and I'm going to put this one under too, and then oops, I have to wind this into a little ball.
You're missing Sarah's sound effects right now.
It's a thing I do. There's a sound that goes with an action. And then we're back to over and under. So it looks weird, like it's just this fluffy tail up, but you won't even see it once we get going a little further. Oh, and now this is the front, and this needs to get tucked in the back. See, all gone. Alright, so now you can see this is my good side. Gotta tuck that piece in. And you hardly see the warp at all. Like the pencil roving is squishy enough that it just kind of pushes in on itself. You won't want to push it in too much, or else, I don't know, you can tell in this one that it gets really three-dimensional, which is cool, but only to a point. So now I've come close to the edge, and I want to fill it in with some of this big roving. So if you think it's too big, you can split it. So you'll just kind of hold it and literally tear it in half. And then that will be nice for tucking in the edges. So I'm back onto my working side, and I'm gonna tuck it under to match that one. And this is too big to wind into a ball, so you'll just take it under and over and under to fill in those spaces. It's very forgiving.
It is. The roving makes it very fluffy.
All right.
And you can weave it as loosely or tightly as you want.
So I've come to the end of this one. And it is long enough that I can go under there, so I'm going to tuck this one in next to it, pull it through here, and try to finish it up. So that was under, now over, and then under here. And over and under this one. And it looks close, but you can kind of squish it down so you can get through, and then you can fluff it back up to fill the space. There. One's under. It's nice to go past this again, so then I'm sandwiching in that join, and that'll make it more stable. And I think that is it. So I'm squishing it around.
Ooh,
And then
pretty.
That's what we end up with. And then with any leftover roving that you have or embellishments you might have at home, you can attach them. Like with this one, we tried some, what do you call it? It's like fringe, but not exactly. So you could try something like that. Or if you have some like junk jewelry, you could attach it and hang it off. You could sew buttons into your weaving. You could do so many things. If you didn't want to weave in the round, you could run strings vertically or horizontally and then just weave a straight weaving and then have it squish to adapt to the curves. You can do anything you want. So have fun with it.
Play.
Here are a couple ideas of different circle weaving projects you could try if you tried this one and really wanted to do something more. All right, everyone. We came, we wove, we conquered. And Amy said that that it was very relaxing once she...
Initially, it was challenging setting up the warp, you know, when you put your first crisscrosses of lines on there, but then I went home and I did some more weaving, and it turned out to be very relaxing. So, testimonial from the less crafty of us.
She is crafty. Don't believe that. But yeah, this kind of project, if you don't like how it turns out the first time, just undo it and start over. It's not a lot of time, and it'll stand up to that.
I actually did that. I had 2 colors of this really bulky, fluffy roving in mine, and it just turned out a little too puffy for me, so I took the outer one out and I added this green yarn and then this very thready blue yarn. So you can play with it. You can weave it and unweave it and weave it a different way.
Yeah. So we hope that you'll join us on Thursday, November
5th.
when we do craft show and tell on Zoom. Doesn't matter if you've done your project, just come to chat and see other people's project as inspiration. You'll probably see one of my cats, and that's cool because they're really nice cats.
We like Walter.
Yeah. Walter, he's gonna get his own YouTube channel. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can email me. That's sbuckrey, B-U-K-R-E-Y, at stolib.org. And that'll be in the email. So don't worry if you don't remember it. And we will see you soon for another Craft Club video.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.